No punt intended fantasy football highlights brought to you by Hallmark. For when you care to send the very best this holiday season. Happy holidays, fantasy football owners. It's the most joyous time of the year as we enter the second half of round one in your no punt intended fantasy football playoffs. And for our top story of the week, we'll take a look at a team who is feeling all sorts of Yuletide joy, the Bama Boat Snacks. The Demon Barber of Fifth Fleet rides his sleigh of terror into Week 15, pulling off the unthinkable, his second consecutive upset over the number one ranked Flying Spaghetti Monsters, a feat that has not been pulled off by any other team in the league. We now go live to Kermit the Frog for an extended update on this breaking news. Kermit?
Hi ho, Kermit the Frog here, and it is absolutely true. Yay! The Bama Boat Snacks have indeed upset their division rivals, the number one ranked terrifying beast of the East, the Flying Spaghetti Monsters, for 2 weeks in a row now. And what's even more impressive about this is their backstory. The Bama Boat Snacks were thought by many to never escape their fate as the dead last ranking squad in the league after starting out the season without a single victory throughout the first 6 weeks of the season. And now they hold an 11.8 points over the FSM, and they'll look to lick their bowl clean of his noodliness and take a shot at the league championship next week. Back to you.
Thanks, Kermit. We'll see if his noodliness can whip up a recipe for victory and get back to his winning ways in hopes to claim a shot at the league championship title. Up next on our first round of the no punt intended fantasy football playoffs is yet another battle between the league's two highest scoring squads as the Bellingham Bimblaasays will once again host Sacks in the City. The regular season queen of the scoreboard is coming off her worst showing of the year, setting a league record for the lowest single-week scoring total at 89.4 points after a disappointing performance by star running back Todd Gurley that left a lot to be desired. You can be certain of this. They'll be hitting the virtual practice field hard as they'll have their work cut out for them should they hope to overcome a 31.5 point deficit and keeping the Bimblaasays from spreading their legs open to an opportunity at the league championship next week. Now, what is certainly worth note is the fact that the Bellingham Bimblaasays and the Bama Boat Snacks both managed to pull off the victory this past week despite untimely injuries to Odell Beckham Jr. and Jordan Reed, both of which scored 0 points in fantasy in Week 14. And last, and arguably least, is a finale to see who will go on for the consolation bracket prize as the ATLians once again get set to take on Wide as Wide. The ATLians were in a prime spot to clinch the number 4 seed in the playoffs prior to losing to Wide as Wide for the third and final time in the regular season back in Week 14, but were unable to turn things around against their division rivals yet again this week in Week 14, keeping them winless against Wide as Wide this year. Now, they will have a good chance at turning things around against their division rivals, as Wide as Wide only holds a 0.7 point advantage over the ATLians. So this final push to clinch a spot to compete for the league's consolation bracket prize should prove to be interesting. That's it for your no punt intended fantasy football highlights. Be sure to check your lineups ahead of Thursday's game, and we will see you on the virtual gridiron.